Right, hello and welcome. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Kingdom Come Deliverance II. And a Merry Christmas to everyone. Very Merry Christmas. I'm going to keep saying it. You can't stop me. In fact, funny story to start us off, I suppose. Our priest on this last Sunday, the first Sunday of Christmas, I forget if it was in his homily or in the sort of closing announcements. I think it actually might have been like closing announcements. Brought up the whole Christmas season, and that Christmas is, of course, a season rather than simply part of a day, and he gave all of us very, very clear and direct instructions. Oh, that's right, I'm gravely injured. Naturally. He gave all of us relatively clear instructions about when and how to put up and take down our Christmas decorations, when we are allowed to stop saying Merry Christmas. He said it is essentially not before Epiphany. Certainly, at the very least, all through the Christmas octave. But realistically, at least through Epiphany. And he was saying how he even does what I do essentially, and keeps decorations up and whatnot through Candlemas. Yeah, let's see what this guy's up to. Through the presentation of the Lord in February 2nd. How you doing, sir?
Greetings. Is there anything I can offer you?
Tell me instead, what tidings do you have of the world?
Something new every day. Take that new priest over in Prague. Goes by the name of Hus. And if you heard him,
that guy.
Now that's what I call a sermon. He's not afraid to scold anyone. He says the church fleeces believers, and that it's not right.
Have you heard him preach?
That I have. He was at St. Michael's one time. Nowadays you'd have to go to Bethlehem Chapel to see him, but it's well worth it. If you're ever in Prague, you should take a look. That fellow's born to be a cardinal, or a pope. Then you'll be able to tell your children you remember him when he was a plain old priest.
Yeah, no. Let's see, will he buy anything from me? Anything worth selling? I need to get rid of. I don't think so. The guy has 35 groschen. There's not... I mean, I'll sell that, I guess. I don't need it. Those.
I'm glad you found what
That'll
you were
work.
looking for, sir.
All right. Anyway, though, he also mentioned that he I guess I maybe should say he lamented the fact that a lot of, maybe not even a lot of, all of our local radio stations have stopped playing Christmas music entirely. As of Christmas afternoon, basically. And he said that he was going to be spending the rest of the Sunday writing letters to the various radio stations, complaining that they stopped playing Christmas music before the Christmas season was over. Really, just a problem. Sorry, I'm just here to talk.
What are you doing here? Good evening. What do you need, lad?
Can I spend the night here?
We're not set up for that here.
I'll pay you well if you let me spend the night here every now and then.
Forgive me, sir, unless you want to sleep on the hay.
That doesn't matter. I'd even be happy to pay for that bed of hay.
50 groschen? Not bad. Let's do it.
All right, I'll pay. I hope that'll be enough.
Thank you, and a good night to you, sir.
Where can I spend the night?
You can sleep on the hay in the shed next to my lodge.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Sir. I should look to see if anyone's missing.
Hey Grace, how you doing? Good evening. Christmas went pretty well. Went pretty well. Let's just sleep all the way through the night, shall we? It was, by our standards, relatively calm and quiet. And hey, Imsim. At least by the standards of there being 5 children running around, or rather 4 children running around and one making little cooing noises. I am hungry. That's better. So, really briefly, I'm going to turn my headphones down slightly if you'll forgive the intrusion. Probably better. That's good. Oh, well, congratulations, Imsim, for your solar rotation. I assume that means I assume that means a happy birthday is in order. If not, if that is instead a euphemism for something else entirely, then well, congratulations on that too. All right, let's go back to Apodowitz, shall we? 28 years old. I am older than that. As you might expect. Or as you might not expect, I don't know. I mean... I used to be rather insistent that, that everyone always overestimated my age. And, I'm wondering if there will come a time when that will invert. I don't know. Don't rightly know. These guys haven't respawned, have they? No, not yet. It's the beard. It is true, the beard does add a few years. I think I've actually talked about this before, right? That, the reason I initially grew a full beard, because I used to, for quite some time, I used to just have either just a small goatee or a mustache and goatee, or that sort of thing. But I actually grew the full beard when I started teaching. Because when I started teaching, I had only just turned 22 years old. And I was actually younger.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you.
I was actually younger than a fair number of my students. And so I really needed to, very quickly and essentially just over the summer, I had to set myself apart and establish myself as with at least the appearance of authority. And that meant, really, among other things, that meant growing a beard. That meant dressing up a little bit. That's when I started wearing collared shirts and bow ties consistently. Which, to be frank, even teaching, I've become a little more lax with that. With wearing bow ties and whatnot. I also, at the time, decided I would start using outdated pop culture references. Like, I kept my pop culture references an additional 10 years or so out of date. Very deliberately, to give the appearance of being old and out of touch. Just to compel students to have a bit more detached respect. Compared to, seeing me as a peer. It worked, I think. I think it genuinely helped my rapport, at least, if not my teaching per se. Hello, doggy. Hey, father. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I am, in fact, older than 29 and a quarter, though. In fact, there is there's a video on this channel, clip from a stream, where I talk about how old I was at the time, from which you could do math and figure out how old I am now.
Greetings. Do you need something?
No, I've not been thinking
See
about
you
your
later,
offer.
my friend.
I'm not going to steal things steal things from the good guys on behalf of the bad guys. No, thanks. No, thank you. Let's see, do I need to do any repairing before I start the next quest? No, not my sword. Swords, either sword. Let's see. And no, okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, I have the thing, right? Where's my quest items? There we go. Lost Charter for King Sigismund. All right. And in memory eternal and beyond all doubt, we establish this charter to preserve the agreements between the most noble Sir Otto von Berghoff, the brave knight Markvart von Aulitz, and the councillors of the city of Prague. They have agreed that the Prague militia shall support King Sigismund of Luxembourg militarily in the territory of Bohemia, and that the above-named Sir Markvart von Aulitz shall command them. For this willing and conscientious assistance, the towns of Prague shall have all their existing rights and privileges confirmed, and shall be exempted from the tribute to the king for a period of 5 years. The Prague militia shall also be paid a tribute while the king keeps them in the field. This agreement shall be submitted to King Sigismund of Luxembourg, so that he may issue a charter and duly confirm all these agreements in perpetuity. Amen. In the name of Jesus Christ. Interesting. I mean, it's primarily about Prague, rather than being about Kuttenberg per se. Although I think Kuttenberg qualifies as one of the cities or one of the towns of Prague, right? I think. Ooh, cool. We got machicolations here. We got little mini machicolations. And this nice little gatehouse. I love it. Anyway. Imsimp asks, do you think Jesus ever saw these things and said, stop adding my name to random things? More like, if you're going to add my name to these things, then take it seriously. It's the fact that if you're taking an oath,
So this is where you're hiding the cannon. Well, not for much longer. You're gonna lose it as soon as you hit the road for Sedlex.
yeah, but what if I just set this building on fire and then run for the hills? There's a bunch of dry wood around this building. Like, it's a thatched roof with a bunch of dry wood around it. This does not seem like a good gunpowder storage space. Not that I suppose people of this time and culture are particularly well practiced in the storage of gunpowder, but like, still, you'd think they'd be at least halfway cautious about it. But so, okay, that is interesting. So Imsim says, I was taught as a kid that swearing, as in people saying, I swear to God, or the more popular, I swear to Jesus. Is that actually more popular? Or is that a linguistic thing? Is that a Spanish thing, maybe? Is a sin, even if it's an honest oath. Well, oath-taking is per se sinful. Right? taking an oath. Wait a minute. Taking an oath, which I think I've talked about this before, right? Is a commitment to act in a certain way, or to do something that is ultimately indeterminate, right? And that's the problem with it. If I take an oath to obey you, and then you command me to do something sinful, then I'm in a moral dilemma. Right? I could disobey you, do the right thing by disobeying you, but that would be wrong because I would be breaking my oath. On the other hand, I could obey you and therefore fulfill my oath, but in doing so, I would be compelled to sin. Oh, SoCal early 2000s thing? That's kind of strange, but okay. Take your word for that. Cherton? Anyway, but yeah, it's I mean, oath taking in general is, at the very least, morally problematic, if not necessarily sinful. Like, it might be just absolutely necessarily sinful with no exceptions. What's the difference between an oath and a vow? Semantics. If you want to sort of draw them apart and want to say that if you want to make one ethical and one unethical, an oath is an open-ended commitment. A vow is a precise commitment. So, for example, if I vow to, let's take something silly, like if I vow to, taking vow to mean a sort of closed, specific commitment. If I vow to wake up with my alarm tomorrow, say without hitting the snooze button, then what I'm doing there is I'm promising to do a particular thing at some point in the future. An oath would be something more like, I promise to wake up whenever you call upon me. It is committing thereby to do something that I don't have particular control over. And so I'm placing my ultimate trust for my moral action, right, for the moral character of my action, in someone else who is intrinsically fallible, and potentially unethical. So if you wanna draw the distinction there, you can. I think that's one place that sometimes gets drawn, but I think also. Excuse me again. I'm definitely not going to wake up. I'm not going to make that vow to wake up with my alarm tomorrow. Anyway, if you want to draw that distinction between an open-ended and a particular kind of commitment, I think you can. In which case, the latter, which is more often called a vow, can be ethical. But also, more often, this is more of a semantic distinction than anything else.
Warrior far and wide. Some yokel shoots a crossbow at you, and you're done for. Fucking progress.
I would not expect such an opinion from an artillery commander.
That's another matter. You need training and humility for that.
Do
also
know,
just...
I was not originally a physician.
Ooh, what's he going to talk about?
What the fuck?
I am a caddy. What you call a magistrate.
Shit. And I'm still using that foul-smelling ointment you gave me.
And so you should. I learned that recipe in Granada. There was a war. And I did not want to go into battle and be shot at by people like you. So I started to learn medicine.
So you only became a physician out of cowardice.
And I'm proud of it.
But I'm sure there's lots of other things you could have done, eh?
Perhaps. But I wanted to see Europe one day. Do you Christians not see us as accomplished physicians? If nothing else?
Well, that's true enough.
I think, wouldn't he have been emperor by this point? Or essentially emperor. and also of a tremendous slave empire. I just learned. I probably should have known, but I just learned specifically that Mansa Musa was historically the number one slave owner in human history. He personally owned more slaves than any other person who has ever lived. Which really, that is really something that this game kind of breezes past when characterizing him and his his differences in attitude with these sort of backwards Europeans. Which is, again, it's kind of funny. I think I mentioned this before. It seems like the Europeans in the game only really become backwards and barbaric when they're in close proximity to our Mohammedan emperor here. Yeah.
I've come about that charter you're looking for.
Have you got it?
Yes.
My Christ, Henry. All them men couldn't find it, and you just come strolling in. And the soldiers who were taking it to Sedlitz, did you find them as well?
Aye. But they weren't planning to go to Sedlitz. They deserted, and were hiding out in the sawmill near Lahota.
Horsons. Where are they now? What did you do with them?
I'll cover for him.
I was lucky enough to catch them off their guard. They're dead.
You took them all on by yourself? You must have been damn fucking lucky. That's your mission accomplished, then. You're one of us from now on, Henry. Here, take our Waffenrock and wear it with pride. And you know what? I think you should get paid right now.
So we can move out from the camp at last?
First things first. You know the first thing every real soldier does when he gets paid? He gets shit drunk!
Oh boy.
Musa, did you hear that? Henry here found us that stupid document.
And he dealt with the traitors. Perhaps even too well for my taste.
Are you serious? Oh,
Let them
piss
rot
off.
in hell, the Horsens.
And what now? Will you head out for Sedlitz?
The sooner the better. Don't tell me you'll miss me.
It is just that you have not finished telling me the story of George and the dragon.
Really? All right, but telling a story like that needs a proper drink first. You too, Henry. Drink.
As you command, sir. To the Praggers.
Long live the Proggers. At last, I don't have to drink alone. Moose is not much of a drinking companion, see?
Alcohol and gambling may have their uses, but they are also sinful, and much more sinful than beneficial. I mean, look at yourself. A man should have 4 humors in his body, but you have replaced them all with alcohol.
You're no saint yourself. I've heard from the bathhouse wenches how you can't take your eyes off them.
Every creature is beautiful and noble, for Allah created them thus. I'm just admiring his work.
You've got a way with words, I'll give you that.
Okay.
All the more reason I don't understand why you don't drink and play dice.
I simply do not want to.
But I fucking do. So come on, Henry. You'll play with me at least.
Why not? Let's have a game.
That's the spirit. You're a man after my own heart.
Careful, friend. Winning money off the captain is never a good idea.
Am I gonna have to throw this? I'm not gonna throw
We'll
this.
see whose side luck is on today.
I'm way too proud to lose. I am, however, going to play a little risky. Not that risky, though. Dang. Okay. Okay.
That'll do me. Roll.
Okay. I just need 300 points. I think I can... Let's keep going.
I hope you don't throw like that again.
Let's go.
Mother of...
Shit! How could I have lost?
To be fair, I absolutely did. I won a 1,500 point game with 7,200 points. Okay, but
Glory to the victors, honor to the defeated. You'll get me back next time, sir.
You bet I will. I'll pluck you like a chicken.
my God.
And now for a drink.
Oh, 13 hours. Why?
And so St. George hops on his white steed, and he rides to the lake, where he sees a huge mountain with a cave at the bottom. Stench of sulfur, it's wafting from it. And so he shouts at the top of his lungs into the cave and says, "Come out, dragon! I challenge you to a fight!" And so, all of a sudden, the mountain moves, and massive dragon looks down at George and says, "Sir Knight, I accept your challenge, but why the fuck are you shouting up my arse?" I love that, sir. Up his arse.
Sir, you have
That
to
is-
come with me
that
quickly.
is funny.
The surgeon too.
Can't you see we're in the middle of serious debate?
No, please, come quickly, before it's too late.
What's going on?
This is Chatan. He leads the Cumans.
Oh, that guy.
He has been stabbed. Tuts bezeni. Kitchen outdoors.
Who did it?
We will not get anything out of him in this state. We must get him to the infirmary before he bleeds to death.
Someone, please explain to me what the fuck is going on here.
They said they just found him like this.
These two, they were on guard in the tower, and out of the blue they heard a scream.
When his men
It was Catherine,
find out
wasn't
about
it?
This, we'll be lucky to not end up in the same position as him.
We've got to move him quickly. He's in plain sight here.
Quick, before it's too late.
I'll help you with him.
You two, go to the gate. Don't let anyone in. You got it?
Was it Catherine?
What are your orders, Lord of Burmlaka?
What do you think? Catch the bastard who did it!
Well, that never would have occurred to me. We're lucky to have you here.
Don't make me mad. If your men had done their sentry duty properly, we could have spared ourselves this fuck-up.
I'll deal with Aldebert and Radovan, don't you worry. But now we have to do something.
All right. You search this place, and I'll go to see Chertan in the infirmary.
Right now? What good can you do there? It'd be better if you help me here.
Do what I said, and don't concern yourself with me. I'll go where I want, when I want.
Fine. Go to hell for all I care. So, Henry, Chertan's at death's door. Musa is up to his elbows in his guts. Grosov won't do a fucking thing. And I'm pissed out of my head. I'd like to hear any suggestions.
I have not had a chance to finish the Promised Land yet, no. I think we have to keep it hushed up. No, I haven't really had a chance to. I will say I've been, well, first of all, busy. You know, first of all, extra kid, and then second of all, another one won't sleep. Gabriel won't sleep, by the way, in case I've not mentioned that before. But beyond that, I also I did take a break, and I've watched a few of the new episodes of Stranger Things. I haven't gotten through all 4 of them yet. Mostly because their episodes are obscenely long, rather ponderous. But I've been going through that, and I've been bought into those. So. And doing some more reading. I've got, if you're not in the reading group, maybe you ought to be. We've been reading C.S. Lewis's Space Trilogy. We're on Paralandra right now, the middle one. And it's quite good. It is quite good. I'm enjoying Paralandra somewhat more than I thought I would, but somewhat less than the first one, than Out of the Silent Planet. I had heard that Paralandra was the least good, but it is without a doubt getting quite interesting. So anyway, this is of course the first time I have read any of the Space Trilogy, which is bizarre because I've been teaching The Abolition of Man, his nonfiction book, one of his nonfiction books, for years. And it is essentially just the nonfiction version of the third book of the Space Trilogy, That Hideous Strength. So it'll be good to get to that and link some things together. Lewis does a fantastic job of embodying his philosophical thought in fiction. Between the Space Trilogy and the Chronicles of Narnia, he does a fantastic job at that, really. Imsim says, my mom got a 2026 calendar from our parish. For January, it has the burning bush, and it says that God told Moses that his name is I am that I am. A mystery of sorts, but every month is a different picture of Jesus. For example, one month says, I am the good shepherd, another says, I am the bread of life, another says, I am the way, etc., etc. Yeah, our parish has calendars like that as well. It's a mix of different sacred art, so it's not all Jesus.
Well, the most important thing is to keep this hushed up. Things will really go to shit if anyone finds out.
It's true. Doesn't take much to get that Kuman rabble's blood up. I don't want to end up in a goulash. We're gonna have to sort this out. Being a commander here is a right pain in the arse. Soldiering was different in my day. Nobody would have dared stab an officer right in the camp.
That bad, man. Okay. Almost feel bad for this guy. What's the snack? Beef jerky.
You know what, soldier? I'm gonna go and take care of something in my tent for a while. And you take a torch and search this place.
But, yeah. I make my own beef jerky, which is really the only way to do it. I cannot... Like, no one can afford beef jerky these days. If you're buying store-bought. No. Just not. Just can't. So I basically just make my own. Typically a relatively simple marinade if you're interested in my recipe, so to speak. I'll just take any kind of roast. Typically some kind of a bottom round, but really whatever. This is an eye round in particular. But rounds are probably the best cut, but I'll do it with bottom round, rump roast, eye round, sometimes even like a top round or a London Broil. London Broil is easy to cut for jerky, so that's handy. The oddball ones I've done, which are actually quite good, is skirt steak. Typically inside skirt works a little better than outside because outside it's short, it's small, so it's hard to do. But skirt steak actually makes good jerky. It's a little greasy, so it takes a little extra time, but it is actually really good. Or even, and this is a weird one, but worth trying, brisket. Use a brisket flat. Got that in turkey. Can be pretty good. Anyway, but I'll take that. I'll marinate it overnight in the basic marinade that I usually use is something like enough sesame oil to coat it, then equal parts teriyaki sauce, just like the either Kikkoman or store brand equivalent, and soy sauce, equal parts. And I'll sometimes add some other stuff to it depending on what I'm feeling like. But that's enough. That's good enough. It does a great job. And then just throw them on the dehydrator, or this little thin slices on the dehydrator. Leave it alone till it's done. It is probably my favorite snack. Mostly because I prefer savory and salty snacks rather than sweet, but I can do sweet snacks, but savory is my favorite flavor.
All right. Go and get some rest, and I'll take a look around.
What do you fucking mean, rest? I'm going to have a think.
Okay. Good luck. Good luck.
Slaughtered. Sigismund wants us all hung down and quartered. Sing, my friends, soon will be...
Okay. Digestive potion will help with this, right? No. Is it hair of the dog? Yeah, there we go. That did the job. What are those debuffs I have? What in the world? Injured head. Really? Okay. Okay. There we go. That fixed my head, too. I don't know why I have injuries, but okay. And I could just walk right in here with a torch and then just die. Instantly die. That could be funny. Anyway. Imsip is it cheating to ask your guardian angel for the answers to a test, since he was there when you learned the material? I mean... No? He probably won't just outright give them to you.
And lo and behold, where might this trail of blood lead to?
Not there. What does it lead to? Oh. Yeah, it goes right in here, doesn't it?
And the lock looks scratched. Maybe someone tried to get inside without a key. Was someone trying to steal something?
Oh, you're going to see David? I do really
I'm
want
not
to
the
see.
only one who's looking to make mischief.
Looks
here.
really good. But you're bringing some. I assume you're bringing some salty snacks. I am really scared to be in here with a torch.
Oh, there's powder all over the place. One spark and the whole store will be blown sky high. Are the soldiers really so lax? Or could there be more to it than that? Yeah, Catherine was right. I'll never get such a massive cannon out of here. I have to get Katz to move it out of the camp somehow.
That's a short barrel. That's an exceptionally short barrel. What am I supposed to be doing now? Search the spot where he was... Oh no, okay, I should go back and report to Katz. Okay. Are you sure I should do that? Oh.
Someone washed off some blood here.
Me too! Oh, hey, Mutt. Okay. Okay, so somebody washed off some blood here, then presumably went down here, right? My best guess is they were creeping along the wall.
So this is where Chertan lives.
Let's see. Tier 4! Woo! He's got some good armor. I need to repair. Still marked as stolen though, right? Yeah, it's still marked as stolen. It's really good for brigandine. There's blood in his laundry basket.
That's one serious lock. There must be something important inside.
You say that as if to tempt me. Shadowkin bridle. What's that? Lord Borumlaka's bond. The most honorable man and commander of the military camp by Kuttenberg, the noble Lord Grasov of Borumlaka, hereby confirmed by this letter that he has received the sum of 6 threescores. 6 threescores. Why would you use that as a unit? That's 360 groschen, I assume, from the Cuman Shirtan, and is therefore obliged to pay his debt duly. The noble lord of Borumlaka further promises that he will not use any goods or cattle to repay his debt, in return for which the Cuman Shirtan has promised not to sell the note into existence.
Shirtan money. Sakra.
That's interesting. Very interesting. There's bloody clothes in his laundry. In his basket. Shouldn't we be a little concerned about that? I would think we would be a little concerned about that. I guess not. What's going on here? I thought I was accidentally just gonna basically break the chapter. Leap headlong out of the area I'm supposed to be staying in.
Was it you who found Cheritan?
Aye. Me and my comrade there.
I need to ask you a couple of questions.
I don't know nothing. We didn't do nothing.
Okay.
You really didn't see anything? You're standing there on the tower and you don't hear a man getting murdered? That's a bit odd, isn't it?
Are you deaf? I told you we didn't notice nothing.
No, I believe you. But that only tells me you weren't taking your guard duty as seriously as you claim you were.
Well, it's possible.
What's possible?
Possible we dozed off for a while.
Oh, Christ.
Really?
I knew it. You two were asleep up there.
Wow.
No. We might have just shut one eye for a moment, but we wasn't sleeping.
What about your
We'd
ears?
have
Did you
noticed
shut
if anything
those?
happened there. But before Chetan started yelling, it was all peace and quiet.
What did you do when you found Cheritan?
Yelling.
It all happened so fast. Before we could come to our senses and decide what to do, Crow turned up.
Crow?
Aye. He heard the racket and came to see what was going on. And I'll tell you, when he saw Chetan, he went as pale as a ghost. If it wasn't for him, Chetan would have bled to death there.
How did you find Cheritan, actually?
We heard yelling, so we went to take a look. I don't miss nothing, see? And there was Cherton, crawling in pool of the blood and babbling something. But I don't understand their gibberish, do I?
Okay.
There were two of you on guard duty, yeah? What's the other soldier like?
Him? He's a good pal of mine. The best in the whole camp. Always happy to listen to what I have to say, and that's plenty, believe me. The things I've seen since we left Prague. I'd never have dreamt of some of the things I've seen in this world.
Before the murder, did you see anyone hanging around by the powder store? Doing something with the lock, maybe? Or already inside, even?
Nobody went up there the whole night. I'm telling you, we was watching like hawks.
Except for the sleeping. There was, of course, the sleeping. Probably fair to assume that the murderer did not get out, that they did not leave. But I don't know about that. It's entirely possible. Aldebaran.
How did you find Cherton?
I don't remember too well. I remember we heard someone yelling. So we ran down to the ammunition store, and there he was on the ground.
Have you noticed anyone suspicious hanging around by the powder store recently?
There's always someone going in and out. But no strangers. Not everyone can get up to that part of the camp. In fact, everyone who has access came to the place where Cherton was lying.
Everyone? Really? Okay.
As far as I know, there were two of you on guard duty on the tower. What's the other soldier like?
Him? God's teeth. He's the most annoying bloke I've ever met.
Oh no.
Can't keep his mouth shut. A complete twat.
Anyone can be a bit of a twat sometimes.
But he out-twats them all. He never stops banging on about the most run-of-the-mill things. Like, he was living in a cave until now. I tried to tell him I'm not fucking interested, but he doesn't take any notice. Between you and me, it's quite a relief that this business with Cherton has shut him up for a while.
Well, okay then.
This certainly isn't the murder weapon. It's been here for some time.
There's a boot. Deer meat. We're sure that none of these knives are the murder weapon. This chicken doesn't look suspicious to you. Guess not. Oh, copper drinkware. Yeah, everything except the sleeping would be standard for patrol. Yeah. No, that last little part there is that part's throwing me a little bit. Gotta admit, the whole sleeping on the job thing. That's I mean, look, it's not all that unexpected. Frankly, it does happen. You know, it's not like it's not like all these guys are elite or even all that dedicated. So the fact that one of them, or a pair of them, decided that that guard duty was a good nap time.
How come the
isn't all
guards
that
didn't see
surprising.
anything from here? I should ask them.
They well
If this is
because
how
they
all
fell
guard
asleep.
this camp, we could torch the place to the ground and no one would notice. I reckon I should take another look around Cherton's tent.
I just did. Yeah, no, you're right. There's certainly times when you should not be napping, like when you are on guard duty.
So that's why the men didn't see anything.
They
were drinking.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. So they were not just napping, but drinking. Drinking and napping. Anything further here? That's... What the heck? Whatever that is, whatever liquid that is. Looks like oil. Crude oil kind of thing. Kind of want to check these chests, but it's not a clue thing. It's just a... It's just showing lockpick, which just means steel.
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt?
This is a nice curtain. Okay. Yeah, let's check Cherton's tent, like we were told. Oh, hello. More bloody clothes. What in the world?
Track.
No, can't. Okay. Oh, wait. Good to have. Cherton's key. And some hair of the dog. I mean, the key does not help me anymore. I already broke in. So far, somebody owed him money. The guards were drinking and napping on the job. And somebody was snooping around in the powder room immediately after killing him. It looks like they just ran in here after he died, but there's no way out of here, really. So it's utterly bizarre that they would have hidden in here. Phenomenally dangerous. Maybe I do need to just go talk to cats. So wherever they then went over here, washed themselves off. And then... Must have gone this way, right? Right? Pavese is supposed to be there, so that's not it, right? Nothing blue-like. I don't know.
You silly
Imsif, I see your discussion there, but I will get to it shortly once you're done. Up. Oh. So before we keep going, actually no, I'll go ahead and read what you got here first before I get into any of my other things I want to talk about. So, Imsim says, on a more serious note, a friend of mine. Oh my gosh, I keep yawning. Sorry, I'm on minimal sleep. I apologize. A friend of mine, Catholic, is going through a divorce. How can I comfort him and be there for him? Sadly, moving out of the States, he can't afford to stay in California alone. That's understandable. Then again, moving out of California is not necessarily a sad thing. So that there's at least a bright side. He was married while he was inactive and did not get a dispensation to marry his Protestant wife. I believe he's free to marry since his first marriage was invalid since he failed to get the bishop's permission. He never became Protestant, but was married in a Protestant church. I'm not sure if that would be invalid or merely illicit. Again, that's something that he absolutely needs to consult with a priest about. I'm no canon lawyer, so I can't say for sure. And so I'm not really sure if, like I said, whether that is actually invalid or merely illicit. Because it could just be illicit. It could be that he was, in fact, validly, even sacramentally married, but he did so in a way that was otherwise sinful, that he ought not to have done it in the way that he did. That's a possibility. Again, I don't know that, though. Don't quote me on this. I'm not sure. Fine. Adberg Quiris. I assume this is his chamber. That's his chamber. That is not worth poking around in. Alright, so before we talk to him, something I wanted to talk about briefly. So another book I've been reading, also about space, about Mars in particular, is Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. Now I've started reading this. I've gotten through the first, 3 or 4, I guess 4 chapters or so. This is, so this was originally written by Bradbury. This was his first actual novel. But novel is a stretch because it really is more like a compilation of connected short stories all about Mars. That is the life of the aliens on Mars and the human interaction with Mars and the Martians, and then the human colonization thereof. But the first short story is the what I mentioned in Discord as the a kind of if you'll forgive the language, a kind of monster fucker story, which was really ahead of his time because he wrote this in the 50s. Right, the 1950s, which man, that trend has really only kicked off in the last decade or so. This whole women are obsessed with weird monsters and are sexually aroused by them. But so brief summary of this story. So there's a woman, sort of middle-aged housewife, who is sort of a bit bored with life, that sort of thing, it seems. And she starts having these dreams, which are, let's say, sexually charged or perhaps erotic dreams about a very handsome, oddly colored giant alien who comes to visit. And so at one point she tells her husband about this, and he's basically starts off with like, "Oh, honey, oh your silly little dreams." And he kind of brushes it off, and okay, they move on with their lives. And then eventually, she keeps kind of having these dreams and kind of obsessing over these dreams. And eventually, her husband gets a little worried that she's having erotic dreams about a very handsome giant alien man. So he's like, "Okay, honey, look, are you sure you should? Maybe you should just stop thinking about these dreams and they'll pass, right? Maybe this isn't something you should be dwelling on. You know what? Maybe let's go see a movie. You know what? Instead of you thinking about these dreams, let's go see a movie." And she says, No, that's all right. I'm feeling pretty tired. Let's just go to bed. You're like, okay, all right. You sure you're okay? Yep, I'm fine. Grace, what am I on about? I'm on about the first chapter, the first short story in Ray Bradbury's The Martian Chronicles. It's basically about this woman who's starting to have these weird erotic dreams about a very handsome, oddly colored giant alien man. So anyway, she keeps having these dreams, keeps yapping at her husband about it. Eventually, he's like, "Honey, you need to get some help. This is getting out of hand. You need to stop obsessing over this. You sure you don't maybe talk to somebody about this? Get some help about it. It's a problem." And she's like, "Oh no, honey, no, don't worry. They're just dreams. Just dreams. It's nothing to worry about." You know what's funny though? And then she explains in her last dream that that there was a very specific location and time when this handsome alien came to visit her. And what do you know? It's this weekend. And what do you know? It's like right over the hill there. It's surprisingly near home. But crazy coincidence. That's all. I'll answer that question shortly when I get to that. Don't worry, Grace. I will get to that question. Unnaturally colored. Odd, weird. Described in an alien fashion, let's say. And so her husband is like, "Look, honey, let's go on vacation so we get away from this place and we can not be where you are meeting with an alien in your dreams. How about that?" And she's like, no, don't worry about it. No, it's fine. It's really, you have a lot of work to do, and we should really just stay home. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. It's just dreams. They're just dreams. It's just dreams. It's just dreams. It's nothing. Anyway, so the weekend comes, the day that she's supposed to meet this. Her dreams say that she's supposed to meet this alien. And she says, "You know what? I'm gonna go visit with a friend of mine today. I'm gonna go for a nice walk and visit with a friend of mine. Please ignore the fact that it is at the specific location that I think I'm going to meet this alien guy. It's not about that. No. I just want to go visit with my friend and go have a walk, a nice walk. It has nothing to do with the alien. Don't worry. They're just dreams. Don't worry about just dreams. I'm gonna go for a nice walk. That's all." And he's like, "Look, I forgot to tell you this, but I've got a friend who's coming to visit, and he'd be really disappointed if he didn't get to see you. An old friend of ours. He said he was going to be over today. I totally slipped my mind. I totally forgot. So just, I really like you to stay home and be there when he gets here, so we can all be together and we can all hang out and have a nice time." And she's like, "Oh, you sure?" "Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, that's. Oh. Well, okay, fine." She agrees. She submits. And eventually, throughout the day, what's his face? Their friend, their old friend, doesn't wind up showing up. He's late, and because he's running late, the husband goes, "You know what? Since he's not here yet, I'm gonna be right back." Because it is getting awfully close to the time that she said that this alien was going to show up. So he says, so he gets his gun. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm just going hunting. That's all. I'm gonna go hunting real quick. I'll be back soon. And if he shows up, just let him know that I'll be back soon and that I went hunting. And I'm not gonna shoot an alien at all. That would be silly. I don't believe in aliens. That's ridiculous. And I'm just gonna go hunting. Bye, honey." And so, essentially, we have. My assumption here, based on sort of subtext, is that this man is assuming that his wife is meeting with an actual non-alien man, or is thinking about it, and he's going to shoot the guy. Whereas, in fact, he does, in fact, go meet and shoot an alien. An alien from Earth. Did I mention that this takes place on Mars? And so the odd color are pale pinkish skin, blue eyes, and black hair, which is just bizarre. And he's like over 6 foot tall, which is just enormous. And so this whole thing takes place on Mars. This is a Martian couple. which absolutely ruins first contact with Earth. It's such a good start to the story. I just fantastic. It's a great little start. And I know I've kind of spoiled it, but that twist, that what I just described as a twist, is not actually a twist in the story. The story takes place. It begins by introducing that this is on Mars. These are Martian people, and begins describing this alien as bizarre from their perspective, but very clearly is just describing a human man from like Ohio or something. Anyway, it's really funny. It's a great little story. I liked it a lot. I enjoy it. So far the whole book has been quite good. I'm only like maybe a third of the way through it, maybe close to half, but I am almost certainly going to finish it out, maybe within the next week or so. Anyway, it was delightful. I recommend it. I recommend it so far. Right, let's see what's going on here.
Where else should I look? Feels like I've already looked everywhere.
How should I know? Above all, scout where Chertan was stabbed, right? Have you taken a look around Chertan's tent? There might be something there.
Look there. Okay. I've searched the whole place, I think. Will I be going to take the little McCoys to see the animated David movie? I'd like to. I will not. I will absolutely not be able to take the whole family to a movie theater. That's absurd. No way. That would also cost somewhere in the realm of $28,000. But so probably not. However, there is a drive-in movie theater around here, and if they wind up playing it, which I'm really hoping to do, that'd be good. That'd be really nice, because the littlest kids can basically fall asleep in their car seats. The bigger kids can sit out back in like lawn chairs and stuff, and can watch the movie. Snuggle up when it's nice and cold. It'll be a good time, but that's if they wind up playing it. I'm really hoping so. I'm keeping an eye on it. But yeah, we'd like to. If not, we'll at least get it when it comes out on streaming or rental. Or I do definitely want to see it. Let me know. Let me know how it turns out. If you're going to see it tonight.
Right. I've searched the whole place.
Did you find anything?
Yeah, actually.
The guards back there on the tower drink on duty. I found lots of wine there.
Pigs? Don't they know only the commander's allowed to drink on duty?
Really?
I'll punish them. But that won't help our search. Let's hope Chertan can tell us something. Come on, let's go and see if Moose is done with him yet.
Wait, I had more to say.
Where the fuck have you been all this time? While you lot have been playing with cocks up there, Chertan croaked.
What? Musa couldn't save him?
That fucking sawbone of yours finished him off, more like. He took one of his pagan potions and poured it down his throat.
Can someone explain what the fuck happened here?
Chertan's dead. Not from his wounds. He was poisoned. Sir Grozav is right about that. But he could not be more wrong about the rest.
How dare you, you foreign dog!
Calm down, sir. Go on, Musa.
When Chertan was brought here, he was bleeding heavily, and his wounds needed stitching. But he survived. Then I gave him some wine to prepare him for treatment. That is the usual procedure. But what was not usual was that he started vomiting blood. And then he died.
I'd bet it was the wine that killed him. There's lots of poisons you could add to it, and nobody would notice. Well, until it's too late, of course.
You are probably right, my friend.
How come you even have wine here? You keep saying you're not allowed to drink.
As I said, I give it to wounded men to ease their pain and for certain complaints. At the right dose, it can be very beneficial. It is not all that common in my country, but I follow the teachings of the great scholar Ibn Sina. You Christians know him as Avicenna. I tried other alcohol as well,
tracks.
but drinking mead makes my patients worse. And if I give them beer, they almost always shit themselves.
That's enough. Keep an eye on this fiend till I
No
bring
schnapps?
the guards.
Wait, sir. I have no idea what happened here, but Musa is definitely innocent. Sertan was stabbed first, wasn't he? And Musa was with me in my tent when that happened.
So, he's in league with someone else?
With one of the half-wits here? I doubt that.
Are you sure you're not trying to cover for him?
I beg your pardon?
Don't try that on me. I know very well you and that foreigner are best pals.
I will happily take an oath. I may not be a nobleman like you, but that doesn't mean I don't have my honor.
I can't just stay silent here. I feel like I need to cast suspicion on Musa. I need to draw attention away from who probably killed the guy, which I still keep suspecting was probably Catherine. I really suspect this. Okay, so going back, no, he is not an Ethiopian Christian. He's a Mali Muslim. He's Mansa Musa, the Emperor of Mali, who I've mentioned before as the greatest slaver who ever lived, among other things, right? Yeah, I have talked about Avicenna before, probably in the context of talking with Mansa Musa. But he, yeah, I would say that is true. He's a great philosopher in spite of being Muslim. No, this is Mansa Musa. That's the guy. That's who this is. It's Mansa Musa Mali. That's the guy. In any case, though, right? It's the Avicenna is a great philosopher primarily because he is an Aristotelian and had, by European standards at least, early access to Aristotle. That's his really significant contribution, rather than too much of in terms of his own ideas. He actually, some of the most interesting stuff of his that I've read directly. I haven't read a lot of his work directly. Mostly just like I've looked up passages and things that Aquinas cites, frankly. But some of the most interesting stuff that I've read of his is his basically teaching instructions for teaching logic, which is a very interesting process. It doesn't follow what you would expect from somebody like Aristotle, or even the scholastics, the Christian scholastics. It's very, how would I describe the process? It's like, teach this way, and if that doesn't work, try this. But if it does work, move on to this. Right? It's a kind of, I don't know, choose your own adventure teaching system, which is quite neat. It's an interesting sort of systematized approach to teaching logic, which I do think is probably a good way to teach logic, because logic is one of those things where to learn it, it just kind of has to click, and for it to click, you just have to learn it. You just have to hear it the right way. And if you hear it the right way, then it'll just click, and it's basically just a binary switch for at least sentential logic, or really for any kind of logical system. Once it clicks, you just get it. It's easy. But until it clicks, it's completely inscrutable. And so all the times I've taught logic, there's this tremendous challenge for grading, especially, where students will just fail assignments, just completely fail assignments for some portion of the semester. And then it'll just click, and they'll get it. And they'll just go from getting Fs on assignments straight to getting As on assignments for the rest of the semester. And this happens to every student who pays attention. They'll go from failing, A's, and then just straight A's for the rest of the semester, which, like, that's so hard to grade because, I mean, the fairest way of doing it is just to have a final, and that's your grade, right? Because realistically, once you get it, you've got it. You got it. Simple. Like, the grades that you got before you got it don't matter because you didn't get it yet. But administrative departments, like university administrations, don't like that kind of grading system. And honestly, neither do students. Students, because they're taught this by high school, want to know where they stand and what their grade is at every moment of every day throughout the semester. And so if you're going to say, well, you haven't gotten it yet, but you will, don't worry, you'll get it. And hopefully you'll get it before the final, because that's going to be your grade. And if somebody does get it and they're getting A's, like, oh, but what if I bomb the final? What's going to, dude, you're not gonna, you got this stuff. But of course they don't believe that. So it's a tough subject to teach, and it's a tougher subject to grade. But I do, anyway, all that is to say, Avicenna has some good stuff to say on at least that subject, which is probably the most of his that I've read contiguously. Mostly because I was looking, quite frankly, it's because I was looking for that one reference to that if someone denies the law of non-contradiction, that you should set them on fire. Because then they will finally acknowledge that to be on fire is not the same as to not be on fire. And so they will have to acknowledge the law of non-contradiction on pain of being on fire. Now, of course, this was a joke, very clearly in context. And this is part of why I was looking up, is why he would put this forward as an idea. But it was clearly a joke. It was basically, you know how I said, like, it was, he says, if this, you teach this way, but if that doesn't work, you should go this way and try this. And if that doesn't work, you should try something else, that kind of thing. This is basically his last resort kind of thing. Like, if they still don't get it, light them on fire. Which, good way to teach logic, I guess. Anyway, though, right, so this decision, I don't think he did it. However, if the more I can do to throw red herrings, the less likely it is that Catherine will get caught up in this. Because I do think she's probably involved. So I gotta.
But who could have poisoned the wine, then? Musa was alone here, wasn't he?
Shut your mouth, Henry. This is our business.
Okay.
Might I say a word about this matter?
You can be glad you're not in irons.
Please, sir. Give me some time, and I will bring to you the real murderer. We won't leave this place until we clear this up.
That was actually subtly done. That was
good. You have my word.
So I'm supposed to let a murderer go and put up with you in my camp meanwhile. Are you yanking my pizzle?
But, sir...
Silence! Musa will remain under guard in his tent. He will not speak to anyone until the royal justiciar arrives from Sedlets. He'll deal with him. And my advice to you two is to sit on your asses and twiddle your thumbs. If word gets out that Chertan's been done in, things will get pretty hot around here for all of us.
Where do you think you're going, Henry? Stay here and talk. What do you say to all this?
Why did you stand up for Musa like that?
I don't even know. Maybe it's because he actually listens to all my stories and bad jokes. You must have got to know him a bit by now, too, huh? It must be clear to you he didn't kill Chertan.
Well, I'd say my opinion on these things doesn't matter. You're the commander.
Of course I am. But you could answer my questions when I fucking ask you.
I mean, we can help him. The risk here is this means that we will now be looking into the murder further. We're going to look into it either way. It is better for me to be in good with the commander, so...
Well, the most important thing is to help Musa somehow, I reckon. We can't let them hang him without proof.
I'm glad we see eye to eye on this.
Well, what are we going to do, then?
That's what I'd like to know. We have to find the real murderer as quickly as possible. But what do I know about that? I'm not the royal justice here.
What is this royal justiciar?
He's a crown official who makes sure the law is enforced in this land. His people catch and try all sorts of counterfeiters, rebels, aye, murderers too. Sigismund may not have appointed
the magistrate,
one yet,
basically.
But I've heard he's put Steber of Steversitz in charge of this kind of thing. And if that's true, and Gorzov brings him here, we're all in the shit.
Why is there? Stibor of Stiborzitz? The hell kind of name is that?
Who is this Stibor of Stiborzitz?
A real big cheese, lad. He owns half of Upper Hungary. You don't get that kind of wealth by being kind-hearted. Trust me.
You really don't have any idea what to do next?
How could I? We should probably talk to Musa. Find out exactly what happened.
But Grozov has him under guard.
And there's no way I can get to him. Everyone knows my face. But you could do it.
Me?
Who else, soldier? I need help. Someone I can trust. And you spent the whole evening with me, so you're not a suspect. You have to get rid of the guard somehow, and get to Musa.
Simp, the answer is yes, probably. That seems reasonable. Yes, on a comical note before I depart, if Mrs. McCoy got a call to come bail you out of jail, what crime would have landed you in jail? I'll say crime with scare quotes. Trying to outsmart a police officer who pulled you over saying the laws of man are temperate. Well, maybe not that part. I don't know if I would go that. Oh wait, maybe I would. I don't know. Maybe I would. Pitting the laws of man against the laws of God, perhaps. Accusing him of being a welfare queen, perhaps. It's really an open question as to whether I would go on a sort of theonomist Catholic tangent or a libertarian anarchist tangent. I don't know. I would always be tempted to do such a thing. That said, my libertarian background has a good tendency to remind one that police are extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. They essentially should be treated like hungry territorial wild animals, and should be avoided at all costs. Police should be basically treated as predators. That's my advice. There you go. There's some legal advice for you. Unofficially, of course. I'm not a lawyer. The infamous Greek who cut off a guy riding a bike. He yelled at the driver saying he had the right of way, and the Greek guy said, and so did Jesus Christ have his right of way, but they still crucified him. Yeah, true. Have a good night, Imsim. Enjoy the movie. Let me know how it is. Feel free to post in Discord about it. I'm looking forward to hearing about it. But yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. And maybe come back and listen to this, because I do want to yap about this a little bit. The fact that, look, Jesus did, in fact, break both Jewish and Roman positive law. He was justly, big scare quotes, executed. Executed for crimes that he did commit. There's a lot of scare quotes going on in here. Because obviously, Jesus is God. He did nothing wrong. But he did break the law. And this is... that very lesson right there is what I'm constantly having to remind my more conservative friends, acquaintances and Twitter randos, who say stupid things like, well, if he didn't want to get punished, he shouldn't have broken the law. Well, look, you can say that about Jesus. You can say that about literally God. Okay, human positive law is... here I go. See, maybe you're right. Maybe I would get tased and violently yanked out of my vehicle at some point because of this, but hope not. Like, human positive law is utterly meaningless. It is not... It bears no necessary correspondence to the divine law, to whether divine positive law or natural law, nor ultimately to reality or to justice. Human positive law just means we'll kill you if you don't do this. That's it. It is a threat of force and nothing else. That's all. And so, yeah, I mean, sure, it was he broke blasphemy laws by claiming to be God. That's true. He actually did that. So the Jews handed him over to the Romans. He broke Roman laws by denying the authority of the emperor and by inciting insurrection. He actually did that, yes. But he is God, and he does have authority over the Emperor. So he didn't actually commit blasphemy, and he didn't actually unjustly, let's say, deny the true authority of the Emperor. He just undermined it by being the primary authority. Sure, he did something illegal. Sure, he committed crimes, even capital crimes. But he did nothing wrong. So this is the problem with human positive law. It's random, it's arbitrary, it's almost always categorically unjust. And so it should be no surprise that the God-man found himself on the wrong side of it.
All right. How much time do we have? To find the murderer, I mean.
I'm not sure. Grozov will most likely write a report to Sigismund, and delivering it to Sedlitz won't take long. Then he has to decide what to do next, which means sending the Royal Justiciar here. And how long can that take? I'd say we have 2 days or so.
All right. I'll try to distract the guard somehow.
Good idea. Grozov's men are all blockheads. It'll be easy as pie. And Henry, be careful. I'm depending on you.
Jesus Christ, be praised.
Bastard. We're stuck here because of him. I hope Musa will know what to do. Bastard. We're stuck here because of him. I hope Musa will know what to do.
Why is there a rondel dagger among the various medical implements? Why is there a rondel dagger with a cross etched on the blade among the Mohammedan physicians' medical implements? That's really weird. Talas, Savior Schnapps. Too much interest in Lethian water. Mishak. Guy with mustache.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
God be with you. How's the watch going?
Not bad, so far.
Good. Alright, so I can try and distract the guard myself, which is probably perfectly reasonable. I can also just talk to Musa. Hold on. Am I going to be able to just talk to him? Why can't I just talk to him? Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to Catherine.
Stop, you bastard! Nobody's allowed in here.
All right, keep your hair on. I'm going.
Move your ass then!
Wait, what? Are you serious? I can just go around? Well, I don't need to deal with the guard. I can literally just walk around. He's that stupid? Whatever, I'm gonna still go talk to Catherine anyway. If for no other reason than to find out whether she stabbed the guy. Make sure I'm not going the wrong way. I'm totally going the wrong way. Yeah, totally going the wrong way.
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
Oh, man.
Hear what I say about the greatest evil of all.
Hey, Catherine, did you just kill a guy? Curious. Where is she? Oh. Hey.
We have to talk.
I hope it's important. The less we're seen together, the better.
Oh, you bet it's important. Someone poisoned Chertan, the Cuman's commander.
All right. That is bad. Damn it!
It wasn't you?
You're not involved in this, are you?
No. But I have to find the murderer. Kat said he won't set off for Sedlets until it's cleared up.
That old sod. He's never gonna get off that lazy arse of his.
There's something I need your help with.
Oh, what a surprise. What is it this time?
There's a guard posted outside Moose's tent. I need to lure him away for a while. So I thought...
That I could use my feminine charms on him?
Something like that.
So you rid me of one pig just to lumber me with another?
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't really important.
All right then. I'll try and lure him to the bathhouse. But if he tries anything on me, he'll get a punch in the mouth. I hope he won't stink at least.
But after you're done with him. Anyway. Sorry, that was inappropriate. Anyway, moving on. All right. So the other interesting thing that's been going on lately. It's the wrong turn. No, he's up here. Okay. The other interesting thing has been this this scandal involving the Somalis in Minnesota. It's just neat. It's very neat. Fascinating that that's happening. I'm going to make some hair of the dong if I have the ingredients for it. And I'm going to make some marigold decoction because I'm almost out. Used a bunch. Do I have enough for this? Yeah, I do. Sage, St. John's wort. Handful of mint. Brine the mint at the end. With water? Yeah. Okay. So this has been fascinating. Oh, Grace, I can go over the basics at least. So essentially, what happened? The short version is, over the last what seems like 10 years or so, there's been a significant influx of Somali immigrants to Minnesota, especially around Minneapolis, but not exclusively. But there's been a major influx of Somali immigrants, immigrants and refugees, to be fair. And something that they have apparently been doing, a lot of them, basically as a community they have been doing, has been committing massive welfare fraud. They've been setting up what are effectively fake fake businesses in both childcare and healthcare, and have been taking in taxpayer dollars for basically that whole period, and have by most estimations have, I think the last estimate I saw was something like $3.6 billion over the last decade or so that they have scammed from both federal and state funds. Basically, they're just setting up fake businesses. Especially, the big story has been around daycare facilities, where there are these, they're daycare facilities that don't actually have any kids. They don't have any customers. So they're just people from the community will sign up for these businesses and then just don't actually utilize their services because there are no services to utilize. They're just, collecting money from the state and from the federal government. Because, why would you not? Because look, the part of this is a lot of people have been like shocked and appalled that there's this immigrant community that is coming to our nation and is abusing our trust by manipulating our systems. Shocking, horrifying, indeed. Okay, but look, realistically, this doesn't surprise me in the least because it's a government program. It is made to be wasteful. It's like the whole point. Okay, so 2 mint, ground, boil for 1, and valerian boil for 2, and then distill. I can do that. For spirits. Anyway, the scandal just broke, not because people haven't known about this, because I've heard about stuff like this happening for years, but it's just been really confirmed, especially by some YouTube journalist, some like on the street, like 23-year-old guy who investigated this stuff, and basically what he did was he went through to a whole bunch of these daycare facilities. And found that, well, guess what? There are no kids there. And he went to a bunch of these healthcare facilities, and he started trying to get rate quotes. He's trying to get healthcare. He's trying to make appointments, basically he was soliciting them for their business, and they were turning him away and saying no, we don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do actual business here. He was getting consistently turned away until eventually people realized what he was doing, and he got cops called. He got escorted out for trespass from a few of these different facilities, which is just fascinating, really. Because again, these businesses are clearly fake. Nice. Cockerel. I got a perk point. Yippee! Marigold decoction. Anyway, like I said, this doesn't surprise me in the least. Not because the Mollies are such nasty people or whatever, something like that. It's just that I'm surprised that it even took a significant immigrant community to manage a massive scam like this, because this kind of massive scam is basically just the whole point of government programs. 2 marigold ground, water nettle, 2 turns, 2 ground marigold. And then pour. Anyway, is that relatively explanatory of what has been going on? Now, I will also say something interesting about this too, that honestly a lot of people are ignoring or are politicizing in I would say an unuseful direction, is the fact that the U.S. has been bombing Somalia for longer than we have ever been at war with any country in our history. Like, we have been, sorry, not we, the U.S. federal government, the U.S. military, have been bombing Somalia since, like, non-stop, since, I think, 2002? I think. It's pretty close. Yeah, we've been bombing Somalia for longer than we have ever been at war with any nation in the world. And we're still not stopping. Like this year, Donald Trump broke the record for the most bombs dropped on Somalia. A record that was previously held by Barack Obama. So, yeah, you know, when we tear a country to shreds over the course of 20-something years, is it any surprise that, that first of all, people don't want to live there anymore? But then also, that, well, let me put it this way. The importation of the populations that are the victims of U.S. militarism is a really common and extremely disruptive U.S. policy. Right? This is not just blowback that we never expect. Like, this is this is policy, right? This is either a known but unintended consequence if you're extremely charitable to the U.S. government. This idea that, well, this is going to create a lot of refugees, and so we're going to have to take them in. Okay, that's the most charitable way possible of interpreting all of this. More realistically, it's a matter of intent. That part of why the U.S. government goes into these conflicts and is just so destructive about them is to import people. To import people who are essentially immune from a lot of social criticism because of their racial status and because of their refugee status. Both of those things. So, I do tend to attribute motive here, which is not necessarily true. Like, I am open to the possibility that this is just a predictable side effect, is a predictable outcome of policies that are done for other reasons. Fine, I'm open to that possibility, but I do think that more likely this is intentional and malicious, because the U.S. government is always malicious. What they do. What about Bane poison? I should make some more Bane poison. That's what I should do. If I can. If I still got what I need, I'm gonna make some Bane poison. Do I? I don't. What am I missing? Belladonna. Oh no, I have Belladonna. I don't have Fly Agaric. Oh well. I'm gonna use I'll make Dollmaker. Unless there's another poison in here that I'm missing. Lullaby. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna make some lullaby. All right, one of each of Poppy, Thistle, and Herb Paris. And Poppy boil, Thistle boil, Herb Paris pour. Ground Herb Paris. Okay. Did that say oil? Yeah, oil. Oh, it started in 2007. Okay. I was off by 5 years. I was off by... It's always 5 years, isn't it? That is true. I mean, the U.S. has been dealing with, and by dealing with, I mean, you know, gradually destroying Somalia since 1992, the whole Mogadishu, that whole issue. But yeah, that's true. That's true. We've been at it for a lot longer than that. We've been at it since Bill Clinton, not just W. George W. Bush really, yeah, the Black Hawk Down. Yeah, George W. Bush, you know, ramped it up, or I guess restarted it. There was a lull there during the early global war on terror. But yeah, it was it is the, but yeah, it is still, I believe, or I guess slightly less than 20 years. So going on, what, 18 years now? Clinton was more Kosovo. I mean, he was a lot of places. Yes, Mutt won't shut the hell up. You're right, I agree, and he should shut the hell up. Yes, Erica, you are correct. He will not stop. Is there any way to shut him up? I could tell him to go home. Which I'm actually not going to. Yeah, I'm gonna go, I'm not gonna go kick my poor puppy or my poor stupid doggo. Hey, poor stupid doggo.
Mutt!
Really?
Mutt!
Buddy. Where do you even go? There you are. Stop running! What the heck in zoomies? All right, buddy, calm down. Stop digging! Why are you digging?
Here, Mutt!
Eat some beef! Are you hungry? Have some beef. Maybe he's hungry. That's probably it.
Aye, come here.
Probably just hungry. My guard's gone. Thanks, Catherine. Hey, Musa. How you doing?
Henry? What are you doing here? Grozav said...
Now, to hell with Grozav. Katz believes you didn't do it. We have to clear your name somehow.
I truly appreciate that. But I am not sure that is possible. Tinja sireye, mene mene sireye.
What?
It is a proverb from my country. It means the road to truth has many twists and turns.
Well, we'll straighten them all out. Don't worry. But I'm gonna need your help. What happened when you brought Chertan to the infirmary?
I already told you everything. We laid him on the table. Crow went his own way, and I started cleaning Chertan's wounds. Then I gave him some wine to drink, and he suddenly began to shake and vomit blood soon after. He was dead.
And what happened next?
Then the noble lord of Borumlaka arrived and started to go mad.
What about that wine? Could I take a look at it?
Lord Grozav poured it away in anger before you arrived, so that I could not poison anyone else, he said.
He poured it away? When it could have helped us? The wine was evidence.
It's a bad idea, but
Bohemia
reasonable, I guess?
Even vinegar. It smelt and looked the same, as always. Except perhaps it was a little more cloudy.
Okay.
Where was the wine from, actually?
A bathhouse maid brought it to me along with my clean laundry. A very pretty girl. Black hair. Nicely built. Catherine, I think she's called.
Catherine?
Are you
Fuck's
sure?
sake.
Absolutely. But I doubt that she was mixed up in this. Chertan was not the first person I gave the wine to today. The wine must have been poisoned here, in my infirmary.
How did I know? You knew it.
Did Chertan say anything before he died?
He tried to, but my Hungarian is not as good as I thought. He was coughing so much that I could not understand anything.
That's fine.
All right. But what now? How will we find the murderer?
I have done some thinking about that. After all, what else can I do here? The best thing would be to investigate the poison. Every poison has different effects. One makes your hair fall out. Another turns your guts inside out. If we discover what poison was used on Chertan, we just have to find it, and the mystery is solved.
How can we identify the poison, then?
That is not hard. I examine the dead body, I find the symptoms of the poison, and I compare them with known effects of poisons. That is, I would, if I could get out of here.
And could I help you somehow? I may not be as learned as you, but I do know how much herb Paris to put in a potion to make someone fall asleep but not die.
Excellent, my friend. Maybe we can manage this together. The first thing to do is to go to Chertan's corpse and examine it thoroughly. Arms, legs, face. You must remember everything that looks strange to you. In the infirmary, you'll find a chest. Take from it my almanac of poisons and compare what you saw with the symptoms described there. You can read, I hope.
Aye, pretty well.
Excellent. The chest is locked.
Not Arabic,
I trust
but
you will
okay.
manage somehow.
Chris says, what if one of the guards who disliked Musa poisoned his wine to frame him for something else that happened in camp? Possible? That is possible. This also does seem like it almost could have been a kind of coincidence, like it wasn't targeted at Chertan. So you may be onto something, because again, why would you stab someone and then poison them with different means and just not just stab them better or poison the knife? And why have such an elaborate backup plan? Like, this is bizarre. This is like a Ryan Johnson mystery.
You have a whole book just about poisons. Where did you get it?
I bought it on my way here, in Moravia. I have not yet had time to study it properly, but please,
okay, then.
Do not mention it to anyone. It would not look good for someone in my situation to have such a book. You surely understand.
Right. Examine Chertan's body and read the book. I can manage that. Who do you think killed Chertan?
I have no idea. But what I do know is that we will not get anywhere if we suspect everyone in the camp. Who do you think is the prime suspect at this moment?
Bro.
What about Stephen? He's the one who led us to the store.
And he carried Chertan to the infirmary with me. So, he could have poisoned the wine while I was not looking.
I'm not going to lay suspicion on a spy, because that's me.
Well, what do you think?
I think it must be someone from here. A stranger would have been noticed. What is more, most people are not allowed up to the powder store, and I would bet that it was one of us who was there at the time. And because it cannot be you, me, or Katz, that leaves Grozav, Stephen, and the two guards. Someone should question them all. Maybe their statements will give something away.
I'm not going to question Grozov.
Well, I don't have much time, but I'll try to talk to them.
I think he's not going to say much.
What if we forgot about finding the murderer, And I just helped you escape. You'd be long gone before Grossav found out.
Thank you for the offer. But look at me. My appearance is a little conspicuous. There is nowhere for me to hide in this country. And even if I did get away by some miracle, they would punish you and cats instead of me. I cannot allow that.
Those are both fair points, honestly. Okay, so let's go examine the poison and the body. Or the book in the body. Oh, look at that. Sure. Book of Posion. Travelogue of the so-called Mandeville. Flexibility of the body. Yeah, I'll take that stuff too. Okay, time to read some stuff. Gray says, a stab is fixable if it's not deep enough to puncture anything important, right? So they probably realized it might have been a bad angle to have any actual quick death over a fixable wound happen. That is true. I mean, it would be reasonable enough to have a contingency plan, but also, like, you know, it's... If you're going to have a contingency plan this elaborate, there better be a damn good reason to need this guy dead, you know? I'm going to wait on this thing, on skill books, just because I don't have time. I have 2 days. So I'm going to have to do that later. But I mean, also, a good stab to the gut, it can be fixed, but it's going to leave some serious permanent injury. Though it's not, you're right, it's not immediately lethal. So again, if I were stabbing someone to try and kill them, I'd probably go more for the chest. Or like, upwards kind of thing. Yeah. He might know more than he needs to, be a good source of spy. True. We are here spying, so, yeah. Travelogue of the so-called Mandeville, India, by the beautiful land. One travels to India by way of blah, 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 blah. Cool. Oh, that's it? It's just the part 1? Okay, well... Alright. I thought it was going to be a whole long thing. Alright, let's check the Book of Poisons. Bane. Have one. Causes certain death even in small quantities. Widespread in Bohemian Austria. The plant necessary for its preparation are everywhere plentiful. Do not expect much benefit from the knowledge of this poison, for it can be used for nothing but killing. When an unfortunate man who has swallowed this poison comes to you for advice, give glory to God, for it is a miracle that he is still alive. Who wrote this, anyway? Do we have an author? Interesting. For a little while thou mayst observe in him blackness of the eyes, dryness of the body, looseness of the muscles. Then send for the priest at once. Even a few drops will cause certain death. There is no guaranteed antidote in the whole wide world. I mean, Henry has been poisoned with this. You have to cook this abomination recipe, which I have. Imperceptible to taste and smell. Fascinating. Pitohui bird poison. That's fantastic. That's interesting. Grace says, anyone who knows more than they should know for where they are in rank would be a liability to the camp, especially if the person they have outward contact with is a spy. True. Yeah, I mean, that is one way of catching suspicious people, certainly, as well. If I'm looking at those 2 guards, especially. One of the rarest was obtained only from the feathers and skin of the Pitohui. That actually doesn't help me. Lacking yellow color, origin far beyond the land of the Indians, touch of it causes considerable trouble to man. Killers therefore have no need to prepare any decoctions, but only to make headdresses and necklaces of the feathers of their victims. Okay. Those who come into contact with the feathers of the Pitohui often feel a tingling and tension in their muscles. Okay. It says for days. After burn the feathers, the poisoning will pass. You ingest the essence of the feathers prepared by a long boil, expect more serious consequences. The victim first stiffens and soon dies. Unless a drink of seawater and crushed stone from the mountains of Monte Pallidi, that thou shalt find in the Italian land at a certain time. Fascinating. Dollmaker, which we have. Susan relieves pain, favored among physicians. You rub even a few drops on the skin of a wounded man, you can cut him without causing him suffering. Okay, so it's a topical anesthetic. Men who are hasty in their love rub their manhood with this potion too, so that it may numb and they may manage to please their wives. Okay. A fool who tastes even a sip of the potion will experience total numbness. His intestines will become clogged. He may lose his sight for a while. Okay. Don't do that. Fortunately, the stomach will eject this disgusting potion before it has time to have its pernicious effect, unless the body has already been weakened. If you need to replenish your supply of this decoction, got it. Crushed. Okay. The cold decoction. Kiss of Death. Difficult to prepare. Often used because its pleasant aroma can be confused with ordinary cooking. Also said that among the poor that this mixture can be used to turn metals into gold. I assume that's not true. Kiss of Death will first cause a stomach ache. Makes the skin red and blistered, bowels painfully empty at both ends, the udders stiffen and spasm. Udders? Okay. Nails break. And thou shalt know that death is certain, but before that thou mayst relieve the poor man with a bezoar put under the tongue. Quick reaction, a mixture of hot milk, vinegar, and garlic can also be used to cause the poison to be thrown up. Poison. Take a new clay pot, put a handful of red copper, half a bottle of strong water. Strong water. Arsenic, oak bark, and rose water inside. Okay, so the arsenic is what's doing it. Why would you not just use arsenic? Whatever. When the muddy mixture is completely coated the iron, you will know that you have cooked enough. Lullaby. Will not bring quick death, but its effects may be even more terrible. It soothes the man in a reasonable quantity, gives him rest. The body may be speedily healed, but if given by a person of dishonest intentions, his victims fall into a sound sleep, in which he does not feel his body and may be treated so unkindly and cruelly. It's ketamine. If drank oftenly, the healthy spirit then leaves the body. Man intoxicated with lullaby concoction feels faint. Tongue is confused, head is heavy, soon falls asleep. It's basically just being really, really drunk, or again, ketamine. And drinks suddenly, vomits it up, loses all its effects. You want to relieve people around you with lullaby, prepare for yourself oil festival. Blah.
Right, I've learned something about poisons. Now I should examine Chotan's body.
It's dawn.
All right.
Here we
go. Holy Mary, Mother of God, don't let me miss anything, and forgive me for what I'm doing to this unfortunate wretch. He looks a bit ruddy, but is that from the poison, or was he just drunk?
Okay.
I can't see anything strange here. No bruises or broken lips.
Okay. It doesn't rule anything out.
I suppose the murderer surprised him and didn't give him a chance to defend himself. Ah, what a stench. He coughed up some blood, all right, but he also threw his guts up.
Okay.
Ah, there's no way I'm examining that.
Coward. I mean, look, a lot of those potions, a lot of these poisons did say that it'll cause vomiting. You drink it too fast.
That's a nasty wound. I almost feel sorry for Cherton. But why would someone kill him in the most heavily guarded part of the camp, instead of trying to lure him outside?
That is interesting.
Several stab wounds in the belly, all close together and very deep. The murderer definitely knew what he was doing. Though that hardly narrows down the field in an army camp.
Several means basically prison shanking.
Almost everything is covered in blood. But there doesn't seem to have been much of a fight. I can't see anything ripped or sliced off. There's nothing missing. Whoever killed him, it doesn't look like a robbery.
Okay. I mean, I figured.
He looks horribly rigid and contorted. He must have died in awful spasms.
Okay.
Nothing strange here except the stiffness and broken
nails.
Could he have dug his nails into the table when the spasm started?
The dollmaker?
And what's this here? Something that looks like warts. But did the poison cause them? Or was he a filthy pig and always had them?
Okay.
Completely rigid. Just like the arms. But, oh, Christ, what a stink! Ugh, he shot himself.
Okay, there was one that definitely said voids.
I've heard it happens to the dead, but that much? Ugh. Maybe the poison did that. That'll have to do. I found out enough. He had spasms, he shot himself, warts or lesions on his hands, as red as a poppy. But that could be from drinking or lots of things.
Broken nails, too. Let's not forget.
I mustn't forget anything. That's the main thing.
All right, let me reread this real quick. Okay. It's not Bane. Blackness of body, looseness of muscles. No. Between bird poison. Stiffens. Soon dies. No. Dollmaker.
Hey, I have an idea. Get together a few friends and we'll wrestle.
Good idea. The Grozan has forbidden such things.
Intestines clogged. No.
If anything, we'll say
Not Dollmaker. Kiss of death, maybe.
come on. Otherwise we'll shit
Okay.
out of boredom.
Skin red and blistered. Bowels empty at both ends. Udders stiffen in spasms. I assume that means, like, limbs. And the nails break. Yeah, no, that's it. Kiss of death. Arsenic. He's arsenic. It's arsenic poisoning. Which, I mean, it could have probably predicted that it was arsenic poisoning.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
I read that book of yours, and I think I know now what Chertown was poisoned with.
What do you mean, you think? Do you know or not?
The potion is called Kiss of Death. It causes vomiting, cramps, boils, and rapid death.
This name means nothing to me. I suppose I did not get that far in the book. But if you think the symptoms are the same...
That's not helpful, but
I will believe you. Are you sure it was that poison? Were there not more in the book?
No, that was
absolutely certain.
That was definitely it.
The murderer couldn't have used anything else.
All right. I have no choice but to believe you. Now, we can only hope that the murderer has not had time to get rid of the evidence.
I better start searching fast, haven't I? You said that the suspects are Grozav, Crow, and the two guards. This won't take long.
Wait a moment. There is something I must tell you.
Of course. Go on.
First, you should know that I am grateful for what you are doing. Were it not for your investigation, I probably would not be standing here. But I cannot stop thinking about how brilliantly you dealt with Mishek. Why would someone with your abilities want to enlist? I do not suspect you of Chertan's murder, of course. Do not worry. It is all strange, though. People have just been sitting around for months here. And all of a sudden you turn up, and everything is turned upside down.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Tell me the truth, my friend. Who are you? Really?
I don't know what you're talking about. Is this some kind of loyalty test or something? I'm just doing what I'm told to do. Is there something wrong with that?
I have more important things to do than to try to trick you. I am asking you sincerely, as a friend, who are you?
Okay. I'm going to play on meta knowledge here a little bit. Based on the fact that the game devs would not make Mansa Musa a villain. Sorry, but current year games are predictable like that.
All right. I'll try to trust you. Maybe I'm not King Sigismund's most ardent supporter.
I knew it! I could tell straight away that you were cleverer than the others in this camp.
Okay.
You're pleased? Aren't you a courtier of his?
It was not my first choice. Or do you think I long to spend half my life in some dirty tent?
How did you come to be in Sigismund's court?
That is a long story. I once served Sultan Bayezid. Although the Osmans are not that welcoming to my people, the Sultan at the time received envoys from all over the world, so I was useful. But soon after, we found ourselves at war with Tumur and his Golden Horde. Luckily, that is, luckily for me, it was around then that Sigismund's messenger came to see the Sultan, and I managed to persuade the Sultan to send me to Hungary as a goodwill gesture. I am sure you understand that I did not want to wait for Timur's savages to cut my head off. But let us just say that King Sigismund did not show me the respect my position is worthy of. Instead of making me his counselor and physician, he sent me here.
Well, you could go elsewhere if you don't like it here. I know a few people who would value someone like you.
I am grateful to you, my friend, but I must refuse. I have had many experiences in life and come out of them alive. And do you know why? Because I am a total coward. And not just that, I am duly proud of it. I would be very happy to
he's
get
at
away
least
from
aware of
here,
himself.
and perhaps even return home, but only when I am sure I will survive the journey. So I think it will be best if we each go our own way.
You know nothing. I know nothing.
And this conversation never took place.
I better go and search the tents.
Okay, then.
Good luck. I am depending on you.
Okay. Well, all right. So, yeah, coward. Wait. What's it want me to do here? Search Moose's tent. Why would I search Moose's tent? He was with me. Although, to be fair, he was with me when Chartan was stabbed.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
But he was not with me when he was poisoned. See if we can find Stephen, and then we can see if we can find Stephen's tent. And hope they're not in the same place. Oh, this is mine. Look at my tent. I have a tent. I didn't know I had a tent. Huh. Camp Herald, soldier.
Give you health.
Black. Who's black?
Good morning to you.
Do you know how it ended up with Victoria?
Oh, that guy.
Honestly, no. She hasn't been to the camp in God knows how long. I went to have a look at our meeting place. She wasn't there, but someone had placed a small cross under the birches.
A cross? For who?
I don't know, and I don't want to know.
Oh.
Take care.
I think it was for their child. I had to make a guess.
At your service, sir.
Hey, Steve.
I'd like to ask a couple of questions about Chertan's murder.
I have a couple of questions of my own. What actually happened? Kat said Chertan is dead and Musa's locked up.
It's even more complicated than that. But I don't have time to explain it to you now. I need to ask you a couple of questions.
Go ahead and ask then, but quietly, damn it. I don't want anyone to know about it.
Okay, reasonable.
It was you who came to tell us that Chertan had been stabbed, wasn't it? How did you get involved in the first place?
Me? I was close by, that's all. My tent is right below the palisade. And when the two guards found Chertan, they ran to get me.
Hold on. The two guards said otherwise. They said they found Chertan and were discussing what to do when you turned up. By yourself.
Is that what they said? It's possible. I can't remember now. It all happened so fast.
Really?
Anyway, how am I supposed to remember all this shit? Maybe I heard them and went to see what was going on.
Are you sure you don't want to tell me what really happened?
All right. You want the truth, so I'll tell you the truth. In fact, I really was up top. It's because I had to keep an eye on you.
Me? Why, for Christ's sake?
You really don't know? You may have been given our colours, but you're still a stranger. I didn't want you running around unsupervised. But it seems you're a decent fella, so don't fuck it up now.
Okay, okay. Still sketchy.
Where were you when Chertan was poisoned?
Where do you think? In my tent. After I helped take him to the infirmary with Musa, I went my own way.
You just went off to have a nap?
No, I doubled the guard, drew up the orders for tomorrow, and made sure nobody was allowed to leave the camp. When something like this happens, people like me have lots to do all of a sudden.
Tell me more about the storage space.
What about it? There's a cannon and some powder there. We built it a few days after we arrived because it's a good idea to keep that kind of stuff safe. If it blew up, the whole place would be blown to smithereens. And if someone didn't happen to set fire to it, someone else might have robbed it. Folk are like magpies.
Oh, except for you, the crow.
Very droll. Never heard that one before. Aye, but now I'll ask you something. Who do you think did it?
Well, I don't know who it was. But there's one thing I can say. He's bound to be long gone by now.
For all our sakes, I hope you're wrong. If Chertan's mob find out we let the murderer get away, we're done for.
That would be funny.
Who has the key to the ammunition store?
I don't know. Katz and Groza for sure, but I've no idea if anyone else has a key. I'm too small fry for that.
So you don't. Interesting. Because somebody forced the lock.
Just a broom. I doubt that pair of drunks could have killed Chertan even if they wanted to.
Nope.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Schnapps.
My humble respects.
The water smells of flowers of some kind. Like roses?
Don't drink that.
Oak. And dry as a bone.
That's it. That's the poison.
Nails. Crow planning on building a cottage instead of a tent? But they're covered in some kind of dirt.
Hold on. Nails, rosewater, oak bark. They're all used to brew Kiss of Death.
Yeah, they I'm not exactly going to be able to search his chest while he's standing here. Unfortunately. Yeah, it's definitely him. Well, it's not definitely him. It's most likely him. It could be that somebody else is also brewing Kiss of Death. But that's not likely.
Ugh. Stinks of vomit.
Aldebaran and Radovan. That's a big no. Okay, so wrong suspicion, once again, points to Crow. As to why, anyone's guess. He doesn't seem to like the humans, though. It could just be that. It could be a very simple bit of vengeance, I suppose.
Grozov will have definitely sent a report to Sedlets by now. I should hurry.
Grozov, how you doing?
Did we talk about Chertan's murder?
Why? Musa is under lock and key, and the king's deputy himself is coming for him. Leave me in peace, or you might end up like him.
But sir, we both know whatever happened with the poison wine, Musa can't have stabbed Chertan. I want to find out who else is involved in this. After all, you too could be in danger till this is all cleared up.
That's a good
I
point.
just have a couple of questions. I won't keep you long. You'll see.
Oh, get on with it then, for fuck's sake. But if you think you can
at least he's
persuade
going along
me to
with
let Musa go, you're out of luck.
How come you got to the site of the stabbing so quickly?
My tent is right next to it, you rat-faced halfwit. I heard Chertan yelling and I went to take a look.
Did you notice anything strange?
Like what, a stabbed man?
No, like a man with a knife.
Maybe you saw someone acting strangely around there?
No. I gave a clear order that nobody unauthorized is allowed up here. It's bad enough that you're here. Is there anything else? Or can I have some peace at last?
Yeah, I have a few more questions.
Had Chertan been behaving strangely recently?
No more than usual.
Did he mention having any conflicts with anyone?
That was awkward.
Apart from me, you mean? I don't know how you imagine it, but we don't exactly go round holding hands here.
I'm gonna regret this.
I found a paper signed by you in Chertan's tent. It says you owe him money.
What? Give it here.
You can take it. I've got it memorized anyway.
Then I'd advise you to forget it again, and sharpish.
Is that why you were always quarrelling? Over money?
There is no deed of debt. Got that, you little rat? If you say a word of this to anyone, I'll have you skinned alive.
Okay, but like,
Do you know anyone who might want to kill Chertan?
Who wouldn't? He was a smug, ill-mannered bastard. Though
Not
I have
wrong.
to admit, I'm surprised it was the Sawbones Musa who killed him.
How could he have? He was with me and Katz when Chertan was stabbed.
So he was in league with someone. How do I know?
I mean, you're right about that, so... Why do I need to ask about this? I might be a thief. No one stole anything from him.
Were you there when Chertan was poisoned?
No, not at that moment. When I arrived, Chertan was already dead, and Musa was standing over him, white as a sheet. Well, paler than usual.
I took a look at the powder store where they found Chertan. I noticed it was unlocked. Someone forced the lock and moved the barrels of powder around.
What's that got to do with me?
It almost looks like someone went there to steal. Do you have any idea who it might have been?
What the fuck are you trying to suggest?
I have a much better chance here.
Well, it's just that Katz is in charge of the powder, and he's bound to be interested if someone was stealing. And I'm sure he wouldn't be happy if I told him I didn't ask you, the commander, about it. Then he'd have to do the asking. And that would probably annoy him plenty.
Oh, all right then. There's something I suppose you should know. I like to gamble now and again. And it's true, I don't have much luck. But stealing, I'm a nobleman. Just because I had to sell off a few pieces of land, everyone at court treats me like a leper all of a sudden.
So why would Sigismund put you in charge of the camp?
As punishment. Stuck here with all this riffraff, supplies running thin, pay nowhere to be seen, and to cap it all, it's dull as fuck. A nice recipe for trouble. And that's just what that royal horse son is counting on. Oh, he can't wait till something goes wrong here so he can blame me for it.
So, you don't know anything about the black powder?
Nothing. And you don't know anything about me, got that? One word and you'll be sorry.
Well, okay then. That's fine. Stebor's here already? No. No, that's not good. There's Grozov's tent. Can't. Exactly. Can't exactly search his tent. Maybe I can do it at night. I think I have time. Search it. Who the hell was trying to burgle black powder? I mean, it wants me to talk to cats, but I have to wait on that. But yes, I do need to search his tent, but like...
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt?
How could anyone drink all this?
Huh.
Oh, that's valerian, I believe. It helps relieve pain, but it's also used to make dollmaker potion. But Chertan was poisoned with kiss of death. Or was he?
No, he was. What's that? Take it. Might be useful. Probably not. But it's not marked as stolen, so I might as well, right? That's such awful armor. Alright. I'm gonna go back to Musa, I guess.
I wouldn't mind a piece of that.
Okay.
For pain, exhaustion, fever, all healing remedies. Weaving something like that must have been one hell of a job.
Well, yeah.
There's nothing here. Moose is definitely not to blame.
Okay. Never mind. I can't just tell him it was Crow? Alright, I guess I just gotta talk to cats then. Get this wrapped up. Only got a half an hour left. I do want to finish this tonight.
Right. I found out all I could.
I reckon I'm as ready for the trial as I'll ever be.
My word, you're bristling with confidence. We still have some time, so calm down, or you'll give yourself a fit. In the meantime, I'll go and get everything ready.
Okay.
Well then, gentlemen. I understood from your letter roughly what happened, and I trust we can settle the matter quickly and quietly. But before we get started, I have to say you've disappointed me, Sir Grosov. King Sigismund placed his trust in you, but you don't seem to be up to the task.
That's not true. I took a few tattered tents and turned them into a proper military camp. Everything here is as it should be.
Only your soldiers seem to die from time to time, eh?
There are always problems, but as you can see, I can deal with them. We caught Musa of Mali in the act. You just need to pronounce judgment.
Musa is innocent.
Christ, Henry, be quiet.
And
No.
who might you be?
That is Henry, sir. One of my best soldiers.
One of my best already,
Known
huh?
to keep his mouth shut.
Let him speak, then. I'm sure he has something very important to tell us. Tell me, lad, why is Musa innocent, in your opinion?
Let's start with the hard sell, and then we'll work our way down, shall we?
Sir, people don't murder each other for no reason. They murder mostly for revenge or profit, and Musa had no motive. You can ask everyone in the camp. Musa never had any quarrel with Chertan.
But if it wasn't Musa, who did kill Chertan?
Sorry, but it was Stephen. Sorry, Crow.
Chertan was killed by our corporal, Stephen, known as Crow.
What? Me?
What?
Fucking hell, Henry.
Crow? That one with the mustache?
That's
Do you own a mirror?
Sir. He's Katz's right-hand man. I bet they're both mixed up in it.
Nobody asked for your opinion, but I am eager to hear yours, lad. And
The one with the
start at
mustache coming
beginning.
from this guy.
What happened that night by the powder store, by your reckoning?
Yeah, Chertan caught Crow stealing powder because Crow does not have a key, and we know that specifically. We know he doesn't have a key, which means that we know somebody broke in. That could well have been. Right, so, yeah, let's just go for it.
Crow tried to break into the store to steal powder, but Chertan caught him in the act. A fight broke out, and that's how it ended.
What nonsense! Where's your proof?
Yeah, he didn't have a key.
There was a prize lock lying on the ground by the ammunition store. If Katz or Grozab had wanted to go inside, they'd have simply used their own key.
Is that all you've got against me? In case you hadn't noticed, there are scores of people in this camp who haven't got a key to the ammunition store.
But you're the only one who was loitering up there at night.
Stop all this shouting! Listening to peasants like you two is painful, so keep it short and to the point. What happened next? You carried Chertan to the infirmary? Isn't that right, Sir Musa?
Yes, sir. There, I gave him wine to drink, and I prepared to stitch his wounds, but he died before I could.
It seems someone poisoned the poor fella.
Crow definitely poisoned the wine. Maybe Musa turned his back, and at that moment, he poured it into the goblet.
What do you think of that, Sir Musa?
It is not impossible. I had to go and get clean bandages and water to wash the wounds.
You're not going to take this seriously, are you? Ha! Even if that happened to be true, where would I have got the poison?
You brewed it yourself. I found rosewater, nails, and oak bark in your tent. Stuff used to brew a poison called Kiss of Death.
No almonds, though.
And that's exactly what was used to kill Chertan, sir.
You fucker! I don't have any of those things!
That's enough!
That's a lie.
I've heard all
Bad idea.
I need to know. Cats, I hereby convict that corporal of yours for murder.
What?
Sir Grossoff, have a gallows erected.
Leave me alone!
Don't make this harder than it need be. We could have you tortured, too.
You whoresons! Just try and catch me! You're in for an ass-kicking, you piece of shit! Ah!
Well, Lord Stieberitz, I'd say we've
That
cleared
was easy
everything
enough.
up.
True. Get rid of the body outside the camp. He doesn't deserve to be buried with soldiers who fell for the king. And I apologize to you, Sir Musa, for all this unpleasantness.
My head will remain on my shoulders. That is the main thing.
You needn't have been afraid of that. Your sort get hanged. It's a waste of a blade.
I wouldn't laugh so much if I were you. You aren't up to running the camp. Under these circumstances, I can't let you remain here unsupervised.
What? I didn't do anything.
Exactly. And look where your inaction brought us.
Yeah.
I will take command for the moment.
You can't do that.
Indeed, I can. And much more besides. I will live in the royal tent. I'm sure cats will be happy to leave it to me.
It's all yours. We won't be staying much longer anyway, will we, Henry?
As you command, sir.
Then I do command, soldier. Go and pack.
Have I got time to stop by the baths? There's something I need to sort out there.
All right, but hurry. I don't intend to make the journey in the dark just because you want to dip your wick one last time.
I mean, if that's what he wants to think, I'm not going to alter his perceptions.
I'm
Oop.
sorry.
Yeah, you're good. No problem. All right, we'll talk to Catherine, and then we'll wrap it for tonight. Start next time with the journey to Sedlitz. Hey. She's sleeping again? It's the middle of the day. Oh, never mind. It's mid-morning. But whatever, still.
It's happening. The Praggers are leaving for Sedlitz.
At last, I won't have to wash the humans' asses anymore.
Tell Zizka everything, so they're ready for the ambush.
I will. But be careful once it all starts. I wouldn't want Dry Devil blowing your brains out by mistake.
True. True. You... Catherine, maybe wake up. Maybe you should wake up. Just a thought. Not a bad idea to wake up now. Alright, well, anyway, like I said, I'm going to call it right here. Because I'm not going to be able to do this tonight. I only have about 20 minutes, and I'm frankly a bit tired. I'm going to see if I'm going to make sure I can get the kids to bed. Or the rest of the kids, the babies to bed, I guess. And I'll see you guys on Thursday, because on Thursday, we're going to be back. We're going to be back to Expedition 33. We've got a major boss fight ahead of us with Clea. If you forgot, because it's been a couple weeks. If you haven't checked it out yet, I do have a new podcast episode that came out on Saturday-ish, sometime this weekend. I forget exactly. This time on John Dewey and his philosophy of education, stuff that he gets wrong, the disasters that he precipitated. So check it out. It was a good conversation with John Shepard. A lot of fun. Check it out. It's on YouTube, it's on Spotify, etc. In any case, thanks for joining me. Had a good time. This was fun. We got to do a little sleuthing. That was nice. That was a cool little side quest. Or actually, technically main quest, but felt side questy, honestly. That was a good one. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again for joining me. Have a wonderful evening. Have a Merry Christmas. Keep having a Merry Christmas. And until next time, remember, don't be safe. Be well, more importantly. Be good. Good night, everybody.